Hey guys, it's Crypto Llama here, and as a continuation from my previous video, there is some significant utility coming up for SPS that I wanted to talk about due to the alpha leaks that Matt dropped in the last AMAs. So in this video, we'll go through the fundamental analysis of these changes and what effect they're likely to have on SPS in the future.
Our goal in life is to provide more value for the SPS token. You asked about the Validator Nodes. It's pretty close to building our own blockchain platform.
So I wanted to talk specifically about Validator Nodes, as this was a pivotal topic and focus from the aforementioned alpha leaks in the previous AMAs. For those of you who perhaps heard about these Validator Nodes in the previous AMAs or seen them in the white paper but have no idea what they actually are, here's a TLDR summary for you. So the concept of Validator Nodes is quite simple really. This is an effort to completely decentralize the Splinterlands ecosystem, another step to essentially becoming its own blockchain. It's like crowdsourcing all the servers for the game so that they are no longer centralized but powered by usually tens of thousands of different users across the world working on the transactions for the game. These nodes will also allow the player base to expand rapidly without the issues that arose late last year with the influx of new players. As well, this will help the Splinterlands team focus on the quality of the game rather than having to worry about scaling solutions. As an incentive, validators will earn SPS rewards for hosting these nodes. It's not entirely clear in the white paper precisely how much SPS will be distributed though, but there's talk of around 900 million available. There is also mention of another 3.75 million SPS tokens per month rewarded to these validator nodes. However, again, it's not entirely clear how these will be used and whether they're an addition on top. I did try and reach out for comment, however, there is no response thus far.
We're planning to allow people to purchase licenses for running the nodes.
So tens of thousands of players will be able to run nodes simply by purchasing a license with SPS and vouchers. Licenses will be released incrementally, but there will be a pre-sale before the validator system is live, which will allow players to get in by purchasing with their SPS and vouchers. This is another cause for buying pressure for vouchers and SPS because they'll both be required to purchase a license.
The idea is that when you purchase a node, it'll be for a certain dollar value worth of SPS, and that will all just be burned. And vouchers are going to be a requirement also.
We're going to be seeing that upwards pressure continue even further in SPS because the SPS used to purchase these licenses will be burned. Bring on the burn, baby!
The licenses will be NFTs, they'll be tradable.
So they'll be tradable on the Hive engine and third-party exchanges. These will of course fluctuate in price and likely coincide with the SPS value at the time. It will also be possible to purchase multiple licenses and use them collectively to increase an individual's rewards. So what will the licenses cost for these validator nodes?
It's just a simple like spend versus reward calculation. Let's say it's $1,000 of SPS and some vouchers, and you can look at the reward pool, which we'll be publishing all the information about, and see like, you know, you can expect to make this amount of SPS from running a node with this license over the next year or whatever period.
As more validator licenses are released and purchased, the cost of these licenses will go up incrementally. This also means that more SPS will burn with each run. And what does that mean? More buying pressure on SPS. Right now, we can only speculate on the initial cost of these licenses because there are going to be many factors which will need to be considered. Matt did make the suggestion of 1,000 USD plus vouchers, but this was just an off the top of the head number. I imagine it will be wholly dependent on the passive SPS rewards associated at the time and the current value of SPS at the time of release as well. This could also mean that at first, these validator nodes may not be economically viable. The reason for that is because these passive rewards will be rewarded in SPS, the initial outlay and whether or not they'll be worth the investment will wholly depend on the price of SPS at the time of the release. I guess we could make the assumption though that if you're bullish on SPS, then this could be a great investment for you. However, if you're bearish on SPS, then perhaps validator nodes aren't for you. So there is some good news for players who perhaps don't have the capital to purchase a node.
So the code will be open source, it will be free, and anyone can download it and run it for free. But in order to earn rewards, I mean, basically there'll be two ways you can earn rewards. One way is You can have other people who have staked SPS vote for you to be a top validator, just like in any delegated proof of stake system like Hive. But the kind of the problem with that is if you're not really, only like the top, 20 to 50 people will have enough votes to really be earning a significant amount of rewards. And there's really no incentive for anyone else to run the validator nodes if they're not going to be one of those 20 to 50 people at most. So we looked at what, Gala's done with their nodes, and we kind of want to integrate that as well. So there's a reward pool that'll go to people who get the votes from SPS stakeholders and are the ones, responsible for actually validating the transactions. But then players will be able to purchase licenses so they can run a node and just earn just for running the node. And this way we can hopefully encourage like thousands and thousands of nodes to be run all around the world, which it really helps for the decentralization and distribution of this whole platform.
From what Matt is suggesting here, there'll be 3 different types of nodes introduced that the reward pools will be split amongst. The top 10 validators by votes will be the signatories on multi-sig wallets on both Hive and the Binance Smart Chain, as well as potentially other chains in the future. These signatories will control the SPS Foundation funds, among other things as well. There will be paid nodes as well, which will operate the infrastructure and allow anyone to independently track and verify the Splinterlands transactions that take place on the Hive blockchain. And then there will be free nodes where anyone can run the open source code and be able to provide support to the paid nodes for presumably a small portion of their rewards. So what type of passive rewards will you receive?
Initially, it'll be pretty lucrative, we hope, to buy nodes, and we hope a number of them will be bought initially, and that will hopefully provide some upward pressure to the SPS price as tokens are being bought and burned. For anyone who follows Gala Games and their nodes, it's been incredibly successful. And we just hope, again, this goes back to the whole flywheel concept of as people purchase and burn SPS to get node licenses, it should hopefully help the price along with all the other things that we're doing, which will then make it, viable to purchase the higher price node licenses and so on and so forth. And again, like I said, a key thing is it's not our company selling this. All of this goes toward the SPS holders and the whole ecosystem of the game, and just increasing the price of assets and the rewards available.
Initially, the amount of SPS rewards distributed may be higher as there will only be a limited number of nodes running. Also, the total amount of SPS rewards may depreciate over time as more nodes are released in an effort to provide equal opportunity for each licensee. However, it is the hope that the value of these rewards will continue to increase as the value of SPS increases. Again, we can only speculate on what the value of these rewards will be, because this will be entirely dependent upon the number of validator nodes, the cost per node, and the value of SPS at the time. So what happens though when all these SPS validator rewards are soaked up and distributed? What will be the use of validator nodes then? Well, as with other projects and their nodes, there will likely be more utility added. Another speculative thought is that upcoming partnerships like we saw recently with Warner Music would come into play here. Like with Gala Games, they plan to leverage multiple games under their project by creating a steady stream of NFTs which will get dropped to the node network. This could also be a possibility for the Splinterlands node network too, in order to continue the value train for the validator license holders after the reward period has ended.
It's going to be really exciting. It's going to help the value of the assets. It's going to look good in the general wider crypto community of, we now have this open source node software. There should hopefully be thousands of nodes running all over the world, that keep this thing running and less risk on us as a company.
So what are your thoughts on these validator nodes, and where do you think the SPS price is going to go in the future? I'd love to hear your comments below, but that's it for me. If you enjoyed my video, please hit the like and subscribe button. But other than that, I will see you on the blockchain.